Welcome to another Barker commentary. In this video, I'll be talking about how generally how the tariff war has kind of specifically affected the tech industry. I think now everyone is aware now it's been going on. The Trump tariff war. Trump has initiated the tariff war with the whole world. However, but it was really targeting specifically China, since most of the highest tariff that US has implemented is toward China, and the rest of the world just happens to have take a bit of back some of the aftershock of this China, tariff war, which to everybody, not this shouldn't be a surprise, but a lot of the tech brands and tech product is made in China, as China is known to be kind of the internet, the world's manufacturing hub, and as well as, most of the in China, quite a lot of your tech products, a lot of the small components, or or the expertise and all the have gone out of most of the country and have all gathered all in one country, China, mainland China. So, how has let's first talk about what happened in the international effect of the tariff war has on the tech industry. So, this tariff war has resulted in a lot of the secondary market getting a lot of the rerouted US primary market tech products that has resulted in buyers for a lot that are in hot demand for a lot. The tech products that are really hot in demand, suddenly there's quite a lot of surplus. So which means there was quite, if you were willing to buy MSRP or recommend retail price, the high demand price, you were easily able to get it, and they had to get rid of like a lot of the FOMO tax. That's what this tariff war has kind of done to quite a good amount of products. This also brought in, if the tech product that you wanted to buy was quite low in demand, you are likely going to get the product at MSRP, or if the brand is really desperate to try and keep keep the books, the money in liquidation, where it's really liquid, where they just sell wherever they can, they got below MSRP or the recommended retail price, and basically just went, okay, we're just going to need to sell. We don't care what market, the secondary market. Okay, go, try to funnel that out. And a lot of time, a lot of tech brand is now the tactic, if they want liquidity in the short term, trying to keep the liquidity in the short term of, sudden shock of basically, oh yeah, the American market might not, we can't get into, or our product will not work in the United States market. Well, we're in the primary market, now onto the secondary market. However, this does mean some brands, even tech products, have increased the international MSRP recommended retail price to try and give them more cushioning, or they just simply went, we're going to increase the international MSRP or the recommended retail price just because those countries do not trade in US dollars, and we have to, try to make their secondary, third market look on our, to our shareholders and on our finance, look like they are primarily just emulate the American first market mentality of basically, as a result, some brands decided to crank the rest of price up along with basically the United States price, and try to basically go 1-to-1 ratio. And for the brands that were able to get away with it, they got away with it. Most of the brands that have done this tactic, or some just went, yeah, what? Yeah. This again has likely just there be like most brands like, okay, we will take this Trump tariff war as another way for us to permanently increase our price but internationally. This means more profit for our shareholders and more profit for our ultimate CEOs and CTOs and all these, the most higher ups, and meanwhile the lower employees are getting jack shit increased for these profit margin, other than probably more customer abuse. Good on you. Now on to the second part of this video, which is the United States effect itself, which you probably heard about it or have seen from the Gamers Nexus documentary, where during the time frame where every single day in a week, in that 1 week or 2 weeks, was basically the tariff was just changing, increasing, and the tariff was non-stop. One day it would be this amount, next day it would increase again, which has resulted in quite a lot of brands that their main market, that majority of their products that do sell in the United States for that week or those days, basically sold product at a loss. As because, well, those guys have already signed the deal with certain retailers, certain buyers, like, hey, we're going to sell to you at this price. Basically, we have a lot of companies ended up, well, for that few specific days that was basically very instability, like a lot of company had to eat the losses onto the books, and basically I wouldn't be surprised if they try to again crank up the price, or some of them have just gone, yeah, this is a high risk market, and to have large amount of to bring in large amount of inventory or variety of into the United States. And basically, yeah, this has resulted in, as I probably alluded to, a lot of the United States market, for especially the tech product, has just reduced, and quite a lot of them are now, well, so for the tech products that are still going into it, they are now going into a lot less SKUs, and they will now basically, some brands are like, we will only import the stuff that we know that will sell, and for the more niche stuff, I think we're gonna drop it and just not sell it to the United States, and we're just gonna sell it somewhere else, like the brands that have done it. Or you have some brands that are like outright, we are just gonna stop selling into the United States temporarily while this tariff is ongoing. You probably heard a list of companies that are doing this, like Zeus, Lenovo, or just Razer, 8-bit. All these companies to a certain extent has done the thing where it's like, hey, we are basically gonna halt our shipping into the United States, as basically this tariff thing has made us, well, not viable, has made the United States way too unstable and unviable, and basically for the buyers of the United States, unfortunately, you guys are going to have to get the old new inventory, or you're going to pay extra for the new 2025 and 2025 inventory. And yeah. And basically, yeah, that brings the end to another Burger commentary. If you do like the video, do the typical like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.